What is up, Packer Nation? What is up, buddies? You know what I mean? All right, we are in this thing. All right, I have some stuff to say. All right, the Packers are 3-4. A lot of talk has been being had over on the Twitterverse, especially. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are mad. A lot of people are fighting each other, going to war. Not me though. I'm not going to war. I might argue a little bit, say my piece. But I'm not going to argue. First of all, before we get into this thing, big shot to Quick Trip. All right, so get yourself over to Quick Trip. Use the Quick Trip Rewards app, and get yourself some goodies over at the Quick Trip. You know what I mean? But I want to talk before we get into that though. I went to the Bucks game on Saturday night with my son. We had great seats, row 8, like half court. Saw Giannis. I think he put up like 44 that night. He didn't play like the fourth quarter. Such a beautiful game. I've never been to an NBA game before in my life. That was such a beautiful game. Like it was so cool because like at basketball games, we're gonna get into the football stuff here in a minute. I have a lot of stuff to say about the Packers. But like the beautiful thing about an NBA game, first of all, like the Bucks Stadium, whatever you want to call it, I didn't know what was going on in that thing because like we were in like the jockey section or whatever. Like you can go in there, you can go to the shorter bathroom lines, shorter beer lines. It was such a cool thing. But like during like the timeouts of a basketball game, they had people come on, they're dancing. They got the mascot dunking balls. They're throwing paint. I don't know why they have paint at a basketball game, get on the floor or whatever. But it was so entertaining. It was so exciting. It was so cool. Bucks are awesome. Keep it rolling, Bucks. But we're gonna talk about the Green Bay Packers today. We are gonna talk about some Green Bay Packers today. Look at it. Right away. First comment, the Vikings are winning the divisional, right? So we got a Vikings fan. Dude, my biggest fan base are Viking fans. It is a beautiful thing. Viking fans love me. They win a game, they don't celebrate. They jump in my comments, they jump in the messages. We won. It's like little brother doing something good and they're like gotta flex to big brother. That's what Viking fans do. They don't celebrate their wins. They come and tell me about them. And I'm sure other Packer fans. So, like Viking fans, that is how I know we own you. Because when you win a football game, you run to Packer pages and say, we won a football game. We're excited for you, Viking fans. We're happy for you. That is how you know the Vikings are so bad, because when they won a playoff game, they called it a miracle. You know what I mean? Vikings are trash. They suck. I know they're doing all right. What do they got? They got one loss this season so far. Don't worry. The Vikings will collapse. That's what they do. All right. Evan says, your timer says you've been live for 3.5 hours. At least on mine it is. I have not been live for 3.5 hours. We're at 4 minutes and 13 seconds here. But anyways, I want to talk a little bit because a lot of people have been talking about the Packers, talking about Aaron Rodgers. He was on Pat McAfee's show today. He said some things people didn't like as much as they could have. But dude, I don't care. First of all, I don't care about what Rodgers says on Pat McAfee. I usually don't watch it. And not because I don't like Rodgers or I don't like Pat McAfee. I love Pat McAfee. I think he's the greatest. And I do love Aaron Rodgers. I just don't really care that much to like, if I have time, like I watch it today. But I usually don't watch Pat McAfee because I'm at work. I have, I have a job. So I usually try to catch up on it, but I really don't care that much about what Rodgers said. So I just didn't think that what he said today was that bad. I know a lot of people didn't like it, and that's fine. People have their own opinions on but I think most what Rodgers does, he trolls the media. He everything he says publicly, like he knows he's not stupid. I think Rodgers is one of the smartest people in football. Like, he's being sarcastic. He's being, he's talking trash. He's kind of like mixing up with the media a little bit. I don't think he loves the media that much. And I don't think that they like that because of that, but whatever. It is what it is. But hammer the comments. All right. I'm going to let me know what I should be talking about. But also I want to talk about, like, a lot of people got mad because I said the Packers are going to beat the Bills. And this Thursday, I will have a Bills fan on my podcast, Joe Bees from the Beehive Sports Podcast. We're going to break this thing down. I think the Bills are the best team in football right now, but I think that there's a chance the Packers could beat them. And let me explain to you why that is. And then we'll get to some of the comments. Hammer the comments, and then I'll get to those in a second. But the reason I think the Packers can beat the Bills, I'm not saying they will, I'm saying they can, is because whenever the Packers play it, the Packers are succeeding, they're having a good time in the last few years. And whenever they play a team that's struggling, everyone's like, oh, that's a game you got to worry about. That's a game. I forget the word that they use. There's a word for that, trap game. All right. But like, no one's saying that this is a trap game for the Bills. Like, no one is saying that this is a trap game for the Bills. And it is. It absolutely is. This is a team that can beat the Bills if they play at their best and the Bills make a few mistakes. I fully believe in this Packers team. They're not playing good right now. They're not giving people a lot of hope to why they should win this game. But like, it is absolutely a trap game for the Bills. The Bills are at home. Bills are the best team in football, in my opinion, and in everyone's opinion. Like, they're a top 2 team, at least. It's the Chiefs and the Bills. I don't care where you put them. That's what it is. And I just think the Packers, they're 3-4, backs against the wall a little bit. This is not a must win. This is a very crucial. You hope you win. But even if the Packers lose this game and they go to 3-5, they can still make the playoffs. They got to go on a run over here a little bit. They have to play better. I'm not. People like what I've been saying, and people take it as like, I think the Packers are fine. Everything is good. No worries. See, obviously, the Packers offense has been playing like trash. They're not running the ball. They ran Aaron Jones 8 times. Like, it's ridiculous. What is going on with this offense? Every week, Matt LaFleur says, well, we got to run the ball. We got to do that. Well, then just do that, bro. Run the freaking ball. And a lot of people are talking about, well, Aaron Jones didn't play that good when he ran the ball 8 times, 2.9 yards in average. That's what he did. And I don't care, because 8 times isn't enough. Run the freaking ball. And it seemed like, as I was watching the game, that they were trying to start that game. They were trying. They were giving Aaron Jones the ball any way they could, but it kind of faded off. And that happens because first and 20s and second and 15s, those are not good running options. A lot of penalties, a lot of situations that put the Packers back. They couldn't run the ball as much, but they got to figure it out. That's your job. I love Matt LaFleur. I'm a big Matt LaFleur fan, but you gotta run the ball. You got to figure it out. I don't care if it's running it, pass the ball to him. I don't care. Freaking get him the ball. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are their best playmakers on the field. The best people for Aaron Rodgers to get that ball to. They got to do it. They got to figure it out. I don't care what it is. Get Aaron Jones the football. All right, so let's get to some comments over here. We got, we going to trade or not, and who you think we go? I think that they're going to try to trade because they need a wide receiver. If they didn't need a wide receiver before, they sure as hell do now. With all the injuries that are happening at wide receiver, the Packers desperately need a wide receiver. If no one was hurt, I probably wouldn't even say that. If no one was hurt, if Christian Watson was in, Randall Cobb's good to go. Allen Lazard, I think he's banged up. I'm not sure exactly what the injuries are on this team, or as far as wide receiver, where they are today as we stand. But we got a lot of banged up wide receivers. They have to trade for wide receiver. They have to figure it out. I saw reports today saying, "Oh, the Packers are looking for." Yeah, no kidding. They're looking for. It's not breaking news, bro. They need a wide receiver. But what's up? All right, go Pack, go all the way to the Super Bowl. James Browse, what is up? How you doing? Keller says I can't see or hear anything. I think people can see me and hear me. I think people can. But yeah, talking about this Bills game, Kelly Packer says we always play up to our competition, which I hate. I hate that the Packers seem to play to their competition. I'm not talking this year. I'm talking in recent memory, before this team, except for Aaron Rodgers and Mason Crosby, was together. The Packers seem to play to their competition. Like they play down, they play up. That's why I think the Bills, I think the Packers are going to be competitive. I think this game is not going to be like a blow. Like everything's talking about the Packers going to lose by 20 and all this stuff, and they're favored by 10.5. The first time Aaron Rodgers led team has ever been favored by more than 10, and I don't really care about any of that. But the Packers had to play better. They had to play better. Like the war on Twitter is about Aaron Rodgers. People people criticize Aaron Rodgers. Everyone's crucifying him. But I'm being positive. I'm saying, hey, the Packers can get this ship righted a little bit. You know what I mean? They're 3-4. I want to bring up. I should have had this ready, but I want to bring up the NFL NFC standings. All right, I'm gonna bring this up. Let me type this in here real quick. But I want to go through that whole NFC. All right, I want to go through the NFC, and I want to talk about this because the Packers are 3-4, but a lot of teams are 500 or right below 500. The Packers absolutely can get back into this thing, but they have to play better. The offense has to play better. But all right, let's get to this. The Bears have the same record, all right, as the Packers. But why did I wake up this morning to Bears fans flexing? That's what I say. The difference between the Bears and the Packers, the Bears are 3-4, and they're excited, bro. They're excited. They're celebrating. I woke up with mentions on Twitter, messages on Facebook, comments. Bears fans were all over me, telling me, oh, the Bears are back in it. That's the difference. The Bears and the Packers are both 3-4. One team is celebrating. One team's fan base is imploding. We're freaking out. Not me, because I think that the Packers are going to get ready to this, but I'm nervous. I'm a little worried about the situation. But Bears fans are excited. That's how you know you have a trash organization. You're excited about being 3-4. You're happy. You're surprised you're not the Lions with one win. That is why I know the Bears are shit. The Bears are a trash franchise because they're celebrating being 3-4. The Packers, that's not good enough. That is not good. 3-4 is not good enough. That is not what the Packers are supposed to be. And that's what the Bears are. The Bears are celebrating. Packer fan base is going at each other. Friends are fighting. They're going at each other. You know what I mean? And that is how we know the Bears are freaking trash, bro. The Bears still suck. And that is what we mean when we say the Bears still suck. It doesn't matter what's happening. The Bears still suck. And I let you guys go ahead and be happy. You got evicted from your stadium. You know what I mean? You got a lot going on over there. You got to move. You're not even going to be the Chicago Bears anymore. Now you're going to be the whatever. What is it? The something Heights Bears? I don't even know. You're still going to be Chicago Bears, but you're not going to be in Chicago anymore. You got evicted, bro. You got evicted. You know what I mean? Pay your rent once in a while. You know what I mean? That's the thing, because Packer fans are used to winning. All right. Jack says, because we're used to winning. The Packers fan base is spoiled, bro. We are a spoiled franchise. And I remember when Brett Favre went through it, right? 4-12. I have a Packers tattoo on my arm. And I decided to get that Packers tattoo when the Packers are 4-12, because I feel like that's when you know your real fanhood, when your team struggles. That's why I don't have a lot of respect for Patriot fans, the young Patriot fans, 20-year-old Patriot fans. Don't come at me because I don't care. Crying about Brady. I don't care, because your team has been good your whole life. If your team has been good your whole life, doesn't mean that you're not a real fan. It means you've never been through it, though. You've never been through it. You don't know. You got 6 Super Bowls. Don't whine to me, bro. I don't care. But as a Packer fan, I remember being 4-12 with Favre, and Favre got a lot of laid back. A lot of people were like, yeah, but he did this and he did that. Everyone. Favre is in all this trouble now with potentially, allegedly stealing money from poor people. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But people still love Favre. But I don't think that Aaron Rodgers gets that same benefit. And I'm not defending Rodgers, because I think Rodgers played bad. This last game, I have never seen Aaron Rodgers overthrow someone 10, 15 yards or whatever it was. Aaron Rodgers is not Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if it's a thumb. I don't know if he's just off. I don't know if whatever. Talking about people like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is done. He's over, whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. But like he is off. The offense struggles is not just Aaron Rodgers, though. It is Aaron Rodgers, but it's also the receivers. It's everybody. It's the lack of using Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. People talking about AJ Dillon. Oh, AJ Dillon is playing well. Give him the freaking ball, bro. Like Aaron Jones ran the ball 8 times. That's not acceptable. He had 2.9 yards in average. All right. Not like exactly blowing off the charts, but it's 8 carries. Running backs need to carry the ball. They need to run the ball. They need to get a rhythm. They're not run the ball. And every week LaFleur's like, hey, we're going to run the ball. No. Do it, bro. I play Madden. It's comparable, right? I play Madden, and when I want to run the ball more, you know what I do? I freaking run the ball more, bro. I get trashy receivers receptions in Madden. I know Madden's not the same as real life, but I'm just saying, if you want to run the ball more, then run the freaking ball more. Yeah. Let's get to this comment. Kind of like this. Jack says 10-6 going into the playoffs in 2010 to win the Super Bowl. And it's not even that, Jack, because I agree with you. But in 2010, the Packers weren't supposed to make the playoffs. They barely made the playoffs. So that is my point of this whole season, because I wasn't defending Aaron Rodgers, all right? Because I saw a lot of people on Twitter getting mad. You're defending Aaron Rodgers. I never even made a 1 iota of a tweet defending Aaron Rodgers, because I think he played bad. He's not playing like he's supposed to play, like Aaron Rodgers is supposed to play. He's not. He's overthrowing dudes. He's throwing balls in the dirt. And when he does get it to him, they drop it. That's why I say it's not just Aaron Rodgers. It's receiver. It's both of them. It's this whole offense piece minus Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. I will not throw them under the bus because they're not getting a freaking ball. But like Aaron Rodgers does deserve some criticism, and he's trolling people. He goes on Pat McAfee. People don't like it. I don't really mind it. I think it's kind of funny. He talked about Clements, offensive coordinator, said this was, it was his highest graded game. Aaron Rodgers, the highest graded game. People are all mad about it. I just don't get mad about it because I know he's trolling. Aaron Rodgers says nothing into a microphone that he doesn't think. He knows what he's saying. He's smart. He's trolling. He doesn't like the media. I really can't blame him that much. I like the local media guys, most of them, not all of them. I think some of them are clickbaity, whatever. But I ain't mad at it. That's their job. That's what they got to do. I don't have to be clickbaity because I don't work for no one. I work at a cheese factory. You know what I mean? But like, I just think that Rodgers likes to troll. He likes to troll, and that's what it is. See, back in the day, players didn't talk. They gave the same answers. Aaron Rodgers always, remember when that Favre thing was going on? Rodgers gave all the right answers. But, I respect Aaron Rodgers because he's holding in there, and a Brett Favre thing, and he says all the right things. And he said all the right things for most of his career. But at some point, he was like, screw it. I'm not going to say the right things. I'm going to say what I want to say. And that's what he started to do. And people don't like that. And like, I get it. Like, I'm not like, I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is like without criticism. I don't, in a lot of ways, on and off the field, like there's things people can say about him. And I don't care because like, I'm not related to Aaron Rodgers. I'm not like defending him to the death like people think I am. I actually today, like, I was arguing with people on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all over the place about the Packers. I wasn't defending Aaron Rodgers. I actually never even mentioned Aaron Rodgers. I just don't care. He doesn't need me to defend him. He's going to be all right. But I'll just tell you this. He does not care what you think. He does not care what the media thinks. He does not care what fans think. I think he loves the fans and all those things, but he doesn't care. The criticism people are saying, like he shouldn't have said this, he shouldn't have, he doesn't care. That's why he said it. That's proof right there. He does not care. All right, Jack says, we will win. Don't worry. I got bets on the wing. Yang. My ass. That's funny. I think that this next game against the Bills it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be one of the toughest games the Packers have played in a long, long time. I think the Bills are the best team in the league. But I think the Packers can beat the Bills just because the NFL is wild. You lose to teams you're not supposed to lose to, and then you beat teams that you shouldn't beat. So like when I say the Packers can beat the Bills, it's not because I think the Packers are better than the Bills. It's because that's how the NFL works. Do you not watch football, people? That's kind of like how it goes. You know, the Jets going to Lambeau Field beat the Packers. Nobody thought that was going to happen. The Bears went into New England and beat the Patriots. And now the Bills think they won a Super Bowl. They're over here celebrating. Like as we speak, they're getting the confetti ready, bro. All right, let's get it. Evan says, "Hey Matt, joining here on YouTube because Facebook wasn't working for me." All right, I'm glad you found me, bro. I am glad you found me. Let's get to some of these comments. Lighting the green and yellow candles, Matt. Nice before Halloween. I like that. I like that. No, but like I think like when I talk positive about the Packers, I'm not saying it like cockily, you know, like cocky, like saying like the Packers are the greatest thing. The Packers have a lot of struggles, but I will say this about this Packers defense. I feel like this Packers defense is getting a lot of hate that they shouldn't get. The Packers defense comes out in the first half, and they're like, oh, they're good in the first half, but not in the second half. Why do you think that is? Because the Packers offense isn't doing anything. The Packers defense is tired. Like they're doing their things. They got a pick six. Devondre Campbell right in it. Preston Smith is having a year. You know, like Rashawn Gary is doing his thing. But like they can't do it. They can't win it all. They can't do it all. Like when you're put in bad situations, it gets tough. And I do think the Packers offense is going to figure it out. I mean, I don't know why I think that because they have a lot of injuries on receiver. They have a lot of injuries. But anyways, let's get into the NFC real quick. I want to talk about the NFC. Where is it? Let me find this thing right here. All right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. NFC. You got the Eagles at 6-0, right? You got the Giants at 6-1. Dallas at 5-2. So those are the top three teams. The only three teams in NFC to have more than 5 wins. You got the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys. 6, 6, and 5. Those are their wins. Then it drops to Washington at 3-4. All right? No, I got that screwed up. That was just the NFC East. I'm a little buzzed up. All right, so you got the Eagles at 6-1 or 6-0, Giants at 6-1 because the NFC East is actually doing legit. I think that some of them will fall off. I think the Cowboys probably, but Minnesota's at 5-1. All right, and that's it, bro. The Seattle's at 4-3. Everyone else has 3 wins. There's no reason to think the Packers can't climb into this thing. The Packers can absolutely climb into this thing. The NFC is weak, bro. The NFC, if it wasn't for the NFC East, like the NFC would be absolute trash, which they are. So I'm not saying the Packers will like ball into this thing. I'm saying that they have a situation where they can. They're 3-4, but they're in a great situation. If they turn it up, they have to win. They have to play better. Aaron Rodgers has to play better. Matt LaFleur has to coach better. Like, give Aaron Jones the ball. People talking about like, well, he didn't play that good. Well, he had 8 snaps or he had 8 rushing attempts. I don't care what running back you are. If you are Barry Sanders, you need more than 8 rushing attempts. Like I say, I love Matty LaFleur. But like, dude, give Aaron Jones the ball. Give A.J. Dillon the ball. It seems like we have like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, whatever we're doing. We're like, no, let's chuck it. Let's not run the ball. They need to run the ball more. They need to use Robert Tonyan more. Then they need to use DeGuara more. Use the tight ends a little bit. The wide receivers, you know, they're a little shaky right now, especially with the injuries. You got to trade for someone. I think I don't even have to talk about the defense thing because I think the defense gets a bad rap. I think the defense is not nearly. People are talking about the defense is trash. I think a lot of people who talk about the Packers on Facebook and on Twitter, maybe not Twitter as much, but on Facebook especially, it's like they have a memory. Like they're just remembering stuff they heard from years past. The Packers defense is not trash. The Packers defense is put in bad situations. They start off strong. Like you're not going to win games scoring 10 points. You're not going to win games, you know, scoring a touchdown in a game. You have to score more. Like you shouldn't have to put up 45 points to win a game, but the defense shouldn't have to allow a shutout either. You know what I mean? The Packers offense has no identity. Like, we don't know what they are. Like, like, all right, this is a passing team, this is a running team. Like, this should be a running team, but they're trying to force. This Packers offense kind of reminds me of Madden. When you have a trash quarterback, which the Packers do not, when you have, like, you try to pick a bad team and I go, this guy used to play for the Packers or whatever. So you try to force him the ball and you're trying to, like, you try to work this offense into, like, what it's not, and then you end up sucking and you suck. That's kind of what the Packers are doing. Like, they have two running backs who are the best skill position players on the team. They're the best people for Aaron Rodgers to give the ball to, but they just don't. And then after they lose, they talk about, oh, we got to get the ball to Aaron Jones. Like, get and do it, bro. Just do it. Absolutely. The defense is good. The offense has to do their part. And then I see all these Bear fans and these Viking fans and just Packer haters or just haters of mine or whatever who are just like trying to troll me. But bro, I'm not phased. I don't care. I think that the Packers are going to, I'm not saying the Packers are going to win a Super Bowl. My point is to say the Packers can turn this around and slip into the playoffs because the Packers have been the number one seed how many times, bro? Got that AFC Championship game and lost it. Dude, Herm Edwards once said it. He said, all you got to do is get in the tournament, meaning the playoffs. All you got to do is get into the playoffs. And who knows what happens. So many teams, those Giants teams, the Packers in 2010, so many teams barely get into the playoffs and end up winning the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not saying the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying get into the playoffs and let's see what happens. Maybe they get hot. Maybe they go on a run. All right, we know Aaron Rodgers and this team has done it before. The whole, what was that slogan? They always have slogans. Rodgers talked about that today. I forget what it is now. But basically, just win the rest. We don't have to win the rest. We have to win a few. Just slip into the playoffs. That's all I ask, and to just see what happens. I do think that there's a good chance that Rodgers retires after this year, and I thought that before this season. And if this season goes down as a blunder, probably will. If they win a Super Bowl, probably will. I think that Rodgers is ready for that second part of his life, but like we'll see. Kevin says Wes Hackett's success in Green Bay because he was the good or because of AR12. It's sad seeing him in Denver. Oh, you're talking about was Hackett. I read that wrong. I'm a little buzzed up, right? Some offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators don't pan out as head coaches, especially their first time. So he might be struggling. He didn't know part of the job that, part of the job that he just didn't see coming. And it's just hard sometimes. But yeah, the Denver's definitely struggling. If he gets fired, maybe bring him back, halfway through the season. All right, let's get to some of these. Jack says, throw the ball down the field, period. It's simple. Remember James Jones? He would always run to get the first downs. I mean, I think they're trying to sling a little bit. I think that they need to run the ball. And Romeo Doubs, I think he's going to be a star. I saw someone today on Facebook was like, oh, your best wide receiver is Romeo Doubs in the future, this and that. I'm like, Romeo Doubs is going to be straight, bro. I'm not worried about, oh, yeah, there we go. We go run the table. I couldn't remember that. But I think Romeo Doubs is going to be a stellar player. But like today, this year, right now, like Rodgers was saying today at Pat McAfee, like they asked him kind of like if he loses faith in players and just doesn't throw him the ball, kind of like I forget the exact thing he asked him. I don't want to misquote the question, but he was basically saying, no, like I don't do that. Like I trust all the guys and all these things, but I kind of like think he probably doesn't trust them all the time. But I definitely, I just think like this question or this comment right here, running the ball sets the play action passing game. Like you have to run the ball to be successful on offense, period. And if it's not working, keep running it. You have Aaron Jones or slip screens, throw the ball to him. I don't care how you do it. Aaron Jones is your best playmaker. He is the very best person for Aaron Rodgers to give the ball to. I don't care if you're handing it off to him, if you're throwing to him, what you're doing. Just get him the freaking ball. All right, Evan says, I got a kick out of Rodgers saying, I'm not touching that when McAfee mentioned Hackett aging 10 years in Denver. I didn't see that part of it, but I was watching it, but I think I missed that part, but that is funny because you don't want to touch that, you know what I mean? Philip says Operation Panic is hilarious. The faithful are quick to leave one game under 500. That's the thing. We're one game under 500. And the thing with Rodgers too, because like I accept, obviously, he deserves criticism. I'm not saying that Rodgers is like perfect and all this, but I remember Brett Favre back in the day when he was struggling. Everyone's like, "Hold on, we got him, Brett Favre. He did all this for us," and they're like, "Oh, faithful and all this stuff." Rodgers doesn't get that same treatment. He gets dragged, and I get it. Like that's part of the job as a quarterback. When the offense is thriving, you get all the credit. You get all the credit, but when they're struggling, you get that you get that same blame game. But I feel like a lot of people are just like forgetting like how great it's been to be a Packer fan, right? We're people talking about NFC Championship game 2 and we didn't do nothing. Yeah, but we were in an NFC Championship game. We got to talk trash the whole year. We got to be part of it every year. We know the Packers are going to be part of it. The Packers are going to be in a playoff situation, and then like it doesn't always pan out. They don't always win a Super Bowl, but like we get to have a fun season till the very end. Bears fan and Viking fans, like their season ends in like week 9, week 10, most seasons. All right, but Packer fan, it doesn't mean that you don't criticize. Doesn't mean that there's no, because that's the name of the game. That is, I don't know. Some Packer fans I feel like they're just waiting because so many people around the league, fans of other teams, fans of Packer fans, who are just waiting for the Packers to crumble. I made a post about this. So many people are just waiting for the Packers to crumble. Skip Bayless type people who watch that show. Ugh, can you imagine? They're just waiting for the Packers to fail, so they're getting excited right now. But this season isn't over. There's going to be a situation where the Packers have to rebuild. There's going to be a situation with this cap situation with Rodgers' contract that we're going to have to handle. And when that happens, I'm ready. I'm a true diehard Packer fan. Like most people who are watching this right now or listening to this, but like I'm not ready right now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stick with this team. I think this team has like I'm not saying they're not gonna win. They're not gonna lose another game. They have a tough game against the Bills, and then I don't have the schedule here in front of me. I could pop it up here in a minute if I want to, but I just feel like I'm not ready to give up on this team yet. They have a tough road ahead, but just fight. I feel like this team has some fight in them. Just fight. Try to get the playoffs in a weak NFC. And see what happens, bro. That's all we can ask. See what happens. All right. So let's get to some of these comments over here. We got Jack said, it's so great to be a Packer fan. I love it so much. So I absolutely love being a Packer fan. Love it. All right, Kevin says, don't get me wrong, he deserves all the money. That's the thing with Aaron Rodgers. People talking about the money he makes, he deserves it. All the players deserve it. Like people talk, dude, I could go on. That could be a whole different podcast about people who say the players don't deserve their money. They deserve the money. They're the ones out there getting their head crushed in. The owners don't deserve it. Get out of here. If they restructure AR and D back's contract, we'd be able to afford more stars. They can't restructure. They've restructured those contracts to death. Like they have. Aaron Rodgers is getting paid 4 years after he's retired because they've restructured these contracts to death. All right. They can afford it. They tried to pay Davante Adams. He didn't want it. He wanted to go to the Raiders. And people talk about Davante Adams, but we need to talk about MVS. MVS is the real one who's missed because Davante Adams is gone. He didn't want to be here. Whatever. He wanted to go play in Los Angeles so his family could see him. Good for him. Have a good time. I got no hate for Davante. He's still up on my wall. All right? Still up on my wall. I love Davante Adams. But MVS, no one really talking about him, but if he was still here, if we'd have lost Davante Adams and had MVS, that'd have been a big difference. People could talk about his hands all they want from the years past, but like he could get take the top off of defense. He could run right past everybody. That'd be nice to have right now. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have. I think MVS is huge. Obviously, Davante Adams is huge, but that was just never going to happen. Davante Adams was not playing. If he didn't get traded, he would have sat out. He was not going to play on a franchise tag. And really, he'd been an idiot to do so. All right, let's get Jack over here. 31 years old. I am a diehard Packers fan with a baby on the way, and she will be a Packer fan as well. All right. Congratulations. All right. But yeah, I just think that a lot of people are giving up on the Packers just a little bit too early. That's the problem that I have really is not, I don't care what you say about Aaron Rodgers. I'm not defending Aaron Rodgers. I don't care. He's a big boy. He can take the criticism. I'm talking about like people who are just like, oh, the season's over. They should put Jordan Love in. And then, yeah, so you just give up on the season halfway through. What if they did that in 2010? 2010, the Packers barely made the playoffs. They were the 6th seed and won the Super Bowl. And back then, 6th seed was the last seed. So, like, you don't just give up, bro. Like, if the players had the fans' mentality, no team would win a Super Bowl. The winning team of the Super Bowl would be have like 9 wins, bro. Like, you don't just give up. Doesn't look good. Let's just give up and put all the backups in. Trade everybody. Fire everybody. Like, dude, grow a pair, bro. Like, stand by your team. I'm not saying don't criticize, but like to just say like put in the backup and when Jordan Love's time to shine, I will represent Jordan Love to the fullest. If he's a starting quarterback, I don't care who the starting quarterback is for the Packers. I'm gonna rep that dude. All right. But like right now, it's Aaron Rodgers, bro. Aaron Rodgers gives the Packers the best chance to win. Like I don't get the whole giving up. Oh, let's put the backup in, fire everybody, and start selling. Trade everybody that you can. Like, I've seen these comments. People have messaged me about this thing, about this stuff. It's the most quitter, weak-ass fan base mentality. That is not Packer fans. Like, criticize the quarterback all you want or criticize the team. But when you start talking about, like, just trade away everybody and just give up, like, what the hell? Is this baseball? Like, no, we don't do that. That's not the Packer way. We fight. We scrounge. And then let's see what happens. Like, you don't have to be the number 1 seed. I think Packer fans are so spoiled. They're not the number 1 seed. They're not out in the front of the way that if you're not the 1, 2, or 3 team in the NFC the whole year, panic mode. All right, maybe a little bit of fight, a little bit of grit is good for this team. A team that has to fight, a team that has to go into the playoffs 3 weeks, 4 weeks before everyone else. They have to win out. That's fine. That's how a lot of teams win a Super Bowl because, they struggle early on. Now they have to fight. They have to win every single game, come week 10 or whatever. And that's all right too. I think that builds character. All this stuff right now, everyone's coming at you. That's going to show what this locker room is made of, Not just Rodgers, like Mercedes Lewis, a big leader in the locker room. How will they react? How will these young guys react? How will the defense react when they're like doing their job for most of the game? The offense isn't doing theirs, and then they kind of get tired, winded, and then they don't look so hot either. So is there enough leadership in that locker room to like not have a conflict with the offense and defense? You've heard about other teams like the Ravens. I think I heard years ago when the defense was all legit and the offense wasn't, and like how they were like battling each other. How will this team react to that? I have faith in this team, but I understand like what they have going up. They just went through like the easiest part of their schedule. Didn't go as well as we would have hoped. And now they're going to a really tough part of the schedule. The Bills, the toughest team in the NFL. I think the Bills are the best team in the NFL. Let's see how the Packers react. Are they going to get just washed like a lot of people think? I don't think so. I think they'll stand up to the challenge. I'm not saying like they'll, without a doubt win. I'm not going to put money on it. But I think that, they can. Backs against the wall. All right. In Buffalo. Hostile environment. We'll see what happens. I have Joe Beach from the Beehive podcast coming on Thursday. He is a Bills fan. It's going to be it should be an interesting podcast. He's good, people. I I do like love Bills fans. I think Bills fans are awesome. So I'm not going to be on here talking trash about the Bills. I got no hate for the Bills, but I think the Packers, I'm picking them to win this week. I'm picking the Packers to win. And not because I think the Packers are better than the Bills, because right now they're obviously not. But I think that the back's against the wall, who knows? It's the NFL, baby. Weird things happen. You know what I mean? And I feel like this team isn't going to quit. People are talking about that the team already quit. Like, you're not watching the game then. You know what I mean? He says, Mr. Green says, Bills are the Packers of the AFC. I think they are. And like, not in the sense of this season, but just overall. Bills have a great fan base, small market team. They are in New York, but they're like the smaller part of New York. I don't know a lot about New York, but it just seems like they don't get the respect like the Giants and the Jets get. So they're like small market. I don't know what that means over there, but they're like in a small community in New York. But yeah, so that's what I think. All right. I think I missed some stuff. I didn't write no notes. I just drank. You know what I mean? That's how I prepare for a podcast. Just start drinking it down a little bit. Maybe next week, I'm maybe get Corey Benke to come on next week with me and talk some football. He's one of my favorite people to talk Packers with. But I have faith, people. And if you don't, that's fine. And the last thing I will say before I hang this thing up is that, like, I'm an optimistic Packer fan, right? And if you're not, that's okay. If you like to be negative, that's fine. Or if you're realistic and in your heart you think this isn't that, that's fine too. We're all just here enjoying football. All right. We're all gonna have different views. We're all gonna have disagreements, maybe even argue a little bit on the Twitter, and that's fine. Don't let this football thing wreck your life. All right. Don't get all hostile with it. There's a lot of people who I actually like a lot who don't agree with me at all on most things. And that's fine. Because we're just talking about a game. This is entertainment, people. We're just talking about a football game. I love the Green Bay Packers. Other people love the Green Bay Packers, and they don't agree with me. That's what it is, dude. We're just fans of a football team. We're having a good time, you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all listening. Big shout out to Jack over here. Big shout out to Mr. Green, Stacy. Big shout out to everyone who watched live. Big shout out to everyone who listens on the podcast. Big shout out to Quick Trip. All right, let's get the Packers, turn this thing around a little bit, and get the offense going. Because I think once the offense gets going, the defense is going to be just fine. You know what I mean? Go Pack, go people. This season isn't over. Packers are 3-4. That's 7 games. There's 17 games in a season. Let's not panic. Let's not freak out. Let's have a good time. Go Pack, go. Much love to you, except for the Bears fans. Bears still suck, And the Vikings, bro, like, they're going to collapse. I have no doubt. And I cannot wait till that happens. I don't care if the Vikings win the division. Just to watch them collapse in their fan base, just because they've been chatty, bro. They're in my messages every freaking day. I don't know how I get through life. Really, I don't. But go Pack, go people. Let's get out this thing. Let me chug this beer one time. We out.